Hi, Joe Walker here with Def Digits Guitar Lessons. I've got a quick little beginner's lesson with a chord changing exercise that will help you move between a lot of your open chords that you may have learned by now, like a C and a G, D, A, and E. So this little exercise will help you go very quickly between all those different chords. So I have several students now who've they've learned a bunch of these chords. They're putting them together in songs really well. They've learned some strumming patterns, but it's still taking several seconds to get from, say, a G chord, and rearrange the fingers and get to a C chord. And this is totally normal. If this is you, don't worry. This is just a normal process of getting your fingers to learn to memorize this position and then this position, and eventually you'll be able to go quickly between them. And that will improve with, it just takes time and practice. However, I came up with a little exercise that gets straight to the core of the issue. So let's continue with just these two chords. This will be our example, G and C. And it's okay if you've got a different way of fingering your G chord. I do it this way with fingers 1, 2, and 3. Some people will use 4 fingers there. Some people will use these 3 fingers instead, fingers 2, 3, and 4. Whichever way you like to do it, it should be straightforward to just adapt this exercise to your way. Now, if you're not completely comfortable with these two chords yet, you're probably doing something like putting one finger down first, then put your other fingers down, build the rest of the chord around it. And this is totally normal. You may not have noticed it before, but if you take a moment to analyze the way your fingers make these chords, you might see that there's one finger that goes down first and then the rest of the fingers follow. So that's totally normal. It's part of the learning process. However, the goal, if you want your fingers to move efficiently and quickly between different chords like that, the goal is to have all 3 fingers moving at the same time, exactly to where they need to go, kind of like a marching band. Each member of the band just goes straight to where they need to go without, if they want, they can just disregard everything around them and just go where they need to go. Same with your fingers. You want to have all 3 of them landing at the same time, if possible. That's the goal. However, that's a huge task to tackle right now. A much better way is to break it down and simply force yourself to do a different finger first instead of trying to do all 3 fingers at once. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to stick with that G and C chord, and we'll start with just putting down your first finger first for the G chord. So it might cause you to forget how to play the G chord. That's fine. You'll remember it in a minute. But first finger goes right there, 5th string, 2nd fret, and then you build the rest of the chord around it. Then you switch to C. First finger goes 2nd string, 1st fret, and then you build the rest of the chord around it. And you can do this without even playing the chords. It's more of a left-hand finger finding their places exercises. So you can do this when you need to be quiet if you don't want to wake neighbors or something. Next step is put the 2nd finger down first for both of these chords. So 2nd finger right there for G, build the rest of it. Then right there for C, build the rest of it. And with each one of these, spend a couple minutes going back and forth until you get comfortable with where the current leader finger needs to go. So 2nd finger is building the G chord, 2nd finger building the C chord. Back and forth for a little while. Then switch to 3rd finger. Ring finger starts up here, high E string, 3rd fret for the G chord. Starts right there, 3rd fret, 5th string for the C chord. So now your 3rd finger is leading on both of these chords, and the rest of your fingers have to follow. Now when you apply this, when you start putting this into real songs, when you go back and play some of the songs you've been working on, just forget about this whole thing. It's just an exercise. You can spend 5 minutes a day just on 2 different chords, trying to use different fingers as your leaders. And what will happen over time is each of your fingers will get accustomed to being a leader, and then eventually they will all be their own leaders, and they'll just go where they need to go without thinking so much about it. And of course, the final thing you can do with this exercise, you can apply it to any other pair of chords you want. Say E and D, G and A, whatever chords that are going to be useful in a song that you're working on. You can also do it to a sequence of chords like G, D, E minor, C. Again, try to make it relate to some kind of song that you're working on, something that comes out of the music. And that's it. Have fun with this little thing. Make sure to head back to my website, deafdigits.com. There's all kinds of lessons there. Take care. Happy plunking.